A video game artist working for Microsoft, Blizzard, Activision, which is all the same company now, has called for the murder of all Trump voters by declaring "kill your local MAGA" over on social media. He did this over on Facebook. And Microsoft, Activision, Blizzard has absolutely no comment because we reached out for comment on this one. But luckily, I know you were worried about this. Luckily, the parent company has reaffirmed their commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. So this is from Kyle Hickey. Kyle Hickey went public with the declaration of "kill your local MAGA," and this is not totally off-brand for this video game artist working for Microsoft. This is the sort of thing he posts about. He gets very political. He supports things that are anti-Trump very regularly. And now he's just come out and said, we need to kill everyone who votes for Trump. Now, Kyle Hickey works as a character technical artist for Blizzard Entertainment, which is owned by Activision. It's kind of all the same company now. And in turn, Activision was acquired by Microsoft about 2 years ago, year and a half ago, something like that. So it's all the same company. Microsoft, Windows, Xbox, Blizzard, it's all the same firm now. Now, why this is important, right? Because this is just one person mouthing off and saying something abhorrent, violent, vile, obnoxious on the internet. That's not news. What is news is how a company responds, right? How a big, mega, multinational, big tech company responds, that is important. So the Lunduke Journal reached out to press contacts I have, including just the general press addresses for Microsoft, Blizzard, Activision, as well as multiple CEOs, including the CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella. I emailed all of them because let's just carpet bomb this. Let's just see what sort of response they have. Now, a response to something like this should be very simple. We condemn violence. We condemn calls for murder. You don't even have to make it a political thing. If you're a big tech company and one of your employees is out there calling for the murder of a group of a people, or even just specific individuals, you just come out and say, "Nah, we don't like that," and fire that guy. It's real simple. It's real dog simple. It's just not screwing this up is easy. All you have to do is that. Of course they did not. Microsoft, Activision, Blizzard, none of the press contacts or CEOs, none of them responded in any way, shape, or form. However, 1 hour, almost on the dot, after I emailed all of them, including the CEO of Microsoft, this happened. This gentleman, what's his name again? Kyle Hickey. Kyle Hickey, he deleted or made protected every single social media account I could find. His X account, his Facebook account, his LinkedIn page. This page doesn't exist. This account doesn't exist. This account's protected, right? Locked down all of them, right? And it all happened exactly at once, almost exactly 1 hour after I emailed all of the press contacts and CEOs at all of the companies that control his employment. Now, I want to repeat something here because this is really important. One employee being evil or doing something evil, like this guy did. This guy did an evil thing, right? That does not make a company evil. This is very, very important. If there's one employee at Microsoft that comes out and says, "I think we should go and murder everyone who, has funny ears," or whatever, is that evil? Yes. But that doesn't make the company evil. What can tell you a lot, though, about a company is how they respond to the evil actions of one of their employees or of a group of their employees, right? And so what we have here is an opportunity to see how does Microsoft, Blizzard, Activision respond when an employee of theirs does something so abhorrent, so obviously naughty and evil and wrong and illegal. Like it's so clear and easy that if the company take simple steps to distance themselves from that employee, to say, whoa, 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 that's not us. We don't want to go ahead and kill and murder half of our customer base. We don't actually want to do that. Easy, right? But what happens if they don't? What happens if that company doesn't distance themselves from the statements, doesn't distance themselves from their own employee? Well, that tells you a lot about the company, especially when you combine that together with all of the other things that might be going on within the company. If you begin to see patterns, I would like to point this out to everybody. This is a statement from Rob Kostich. And kudos to at Grums over on X, Mark Kern, who used to be an employee over at Blizzard, for pointing this out. This is absolutely fantastic. Mark says the Activision Blizzard president doubles down on DEI and ESG. Hundreds of employees send likes to it. In an all-company message, Rob Kostich reaffirms the company's commitments to disastrous non-merit policies that have destroyed the studio's nonstop in 2024. I'm just going to read it to you now. And the reason I'm doing this is because it sets a pattern. They're creating an atmosphere within their company, within their multiple companies that are all owned by Microsoft, that have kind of created the atmosphere where people like this guy, what was his name again? Kyle Hickey, come out and feel comfortable calling for the murder of people who might oppose them, right? They've created this environment, and it's a truly horrible thing. So here's the message from Rob Kostich, the president of Activision Blizzard inside Microsoft. Team, given the headlines around diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, programs in the workplace, it's no surprise that questions have come up about what the future looks like at Activision and whether our focus and priorities around DEIs will shift. To be clear, this work continues to be extremely important in everything that we do. It's important to our games, our culture, and who we are as a company. Our inclusive growth team has made great strides in helping us weave inclusivity in all aspects of business. Our strategy here remains focused on enhancing the experiences of all employees, providing exceptional experiences to players globally, and providing accessible opportunities to those interacting with our company and brand. I look forward to all the great work we'll continue to do together. End quote. This is from Rob Kostich. Now, he clearly is focused on saying, yes, pro-DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, doubling down diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? And out of that same company, you get the kill your local MAGA declarations, the public declarations of please go murder people that I disagree with politically. It's that same group, that same environment that's creating that. And this isn't a one-off thing, right? This isn't one executive or one program or one division. It's all throughout Microsoft. And it's a pattern that we're seeing really become strengthened over time. Back in July, many people had reported through all over the media that Microsoft had in fact done away with their DEI policies, right? And a whole bunch of people, Microsoft ends DEI. They laid off all their DEI teams. Yeah, the end of DEI. That didn't happen, right? And the Lunduke Journal was, in fact, the only major tech outlet out there pointing out that was not real. That was absolutely just made up gobbledygook. Not only was Microsoft not getting rid of their DEI team, they were recommitting their efforts to DEI. It was crazy. What ended up really happening, this was back in July, was they laid off one team that had a DEI component as part of a broader layoff package, but yet kept all the other DEI teams throughout the company and redoubled their efforts around DEI. One of the Microsoft employees told me, quote, this layoff is just one head on the Hydra. Every team has DEI promoters, right? End quote. So they're really, really committed to it there. In fact, they're so committed to not just DEI, but everything woke-ish. Microsoft has, this last December, came out with a research study that they promoted inside of Microsoft Research, right? The research division of Microsoft, where they come up with new new operating system kernels and new programming languages. Well, they put millions of dollars into pronoun studies. That's right. They literally went through and created white papers and training videos and did research on pronoun studies. And it's absolutely mind-boggling. And this, of course, came just a year after it was revealed that Microsoft had actually been encouraging their employees to gender transition their 3-year-olds. I mean, crazy stuff has been going on at Microsoft. Crazy off the charts stuff. And we've even been hearing from Microsoft employees as recently as just a few weeks ago who have been dealing with the fact that Microsoft has extremely prejudicial, racist DEI hiring programs within the company, where if you're a white guy in the company, you're less likely to get hired for a job, no matter how good you are at it, than someone who's not a white guy, if you don't check all the right DEI boxes. So this sort of thing has been going on and on and on within the company, and it's created an environment that is truly awful. It is a poisonous environment that causes people to almost be brainwashed within this corporation, Microsoft, Blizzard, Activision, and all the different sub companies within Microsoft, where they feel confident and like it's almost a needed thing to go out there and declare to the world that we should murder people based on being different from us, voting different from us. Kill your local MAGA, says Microsoft's employee. And did Microsoft have a response to that? No, at least certainly not yet. I'll let everyone know if I hear back from them. However, I did reach out to multiple contacts I have with inside Microsoft. One of them, who will remain anonymous for very obvious reasons, who laughed and verified that my emails were received within the company, and quote, "You know they won't respond to you," end quote. This person within the company made it very clear that it is ridiculous as it was. Not only will Microsoft not be responding to me, but the odds of them saying anything publicly about calls for murder of Trump supporters is pretty gosh darn low. Now, all of this is happening at a time when almost every company is seeming to go into different directions. The government is moving quickly away from the extremely racist, extremely illegal DEI policies, and some companies are following suit. Some companies are at least making overtures, gestures towards being non-DEI-ish, which is great. You know, we're seeing that like at Meta. They're not all the way there, but they've made gestures towards moving that way, and that's a positive thing. But what we're seeing at Microsoft and all the companies underneath Microsoft is almost more doubling down than possibly ever before. And one has to wonder how long that can go on before something really bad happens, before someone acts on some of these calls for violence coming from Microsoft employees. I mean, because when you have Microsoft employees feeling comfortable and confident in their workplace that they can call for murder and encourage people to murder people, well, how long before that happens? How long before people who have been slighted because of their skin color or who they voted for within the company start suing Activision, Blizzard, Microsoft? How long before that really starts to kick in and the companies start to be punished for it rather severely for these illegal practices, for creating such a horrific environment where true evil is encouraged to flourish? How long? We'll wait and see. But as of right now, Microsoft, Activision, Blizzard, none of the executives, none of the press people have responded to this in any way. But immediately after I contacted them, the gentleman calling for the murder locked down all his social media accounts. So we don't know that they're connected, but the timing sure does seem like it. Thank you to the Lunduke Journal subscribers for allowing me to continue to do this work and to do this reporting. Go to lunduke.com, click on all the links. If you work inside a video game company, an operating system company, a hardware company, an open source firm, anything within the tech and big tech world, and you see something shady happening, go to lunduke.com. There's a little link there on the bottom that says become a whistleblower. I walk you through a couple of different ways you can contact the Lunduke Journal while keeping your personal information private, while retaining your anonymity. Because I know you don't want to lose your jobs. You don't want to lose your jobs. You can't afford it right now, but something is going wrong within your company, whether you work for IBM or Microsoft or Amazon or Blizzard or whoever, and you want to get that information out there. There's a lot of ways you can do it. There's a lot of ways you can transmit large files over to me anonymously, securely, lots and lots of options, more than are just there, but that'll get you started. So again, go to lunduke.com and click the Become a Tech Whistleblower link. I have never and will never divulge the identity of any whistleblower that contacts the Lunduke Journal. I take that incredibly seriously. And of course, if you want to support the show, lots of ways to watch, lots of ways to listen, and lots of ways to support the work that I do. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, nerds and nerdettes across the inner tubes, I do declare, end broadcast.